Hello and welcome back to my channel. Here we like to do things budget friendly, and if you are like me and have champagne taste but on a beer budget, these videos are for you. Are you guys ready for your useless knowledge for today? Well, if you're not, get ready. I just wanted to let you know that Simon, a cat aboard a Royal Navy ship, was awarded a medal for protecting the crew's food from rats. There you go. There's your useless knowledge for today. In case you guys are wondering, today I am wearing a Chelsea Smith Crowns wig, and this is in the style Willa in the color Crimson Crush. Now, I picked this up on a massive clearance deal, and so this one is no longer available. This was part of their Valentine's Day wig. However, if you like the style of Willa, they do have other colors available in the style Willa. So let's move on, shall we? I brought out a cup of ice, and let me show you why. Super random, but my partner and I, we like to do some guests. They come over, and sometimes we'll do like taco nights and stuff like that, where we would like to keep certain things warm. And one of the things that he had picked up was one of these heating pads. So I'm going to show it to you first, and then I'm going to turn it on, and then I'm going to put the cup of ice water on it, or not ice water, ice cubes, the cup of ice cubes on it. And throughout the video, we will see how, if it melts, how long does it take to melt, and we'll just kind of give it like a test go from there. So let me finish opening this up and I will show you what it looks like. Now, obviously, I'm gonna have to be very careful because of Miss Coy. I may have to put her away for the video, so sorry for those of you who really enjoy seeing her. I just don't want her to get burnt or hurt on this. So it comes in a little bag like this, okay? And then it's secured by this strap, okay? Removable, power cord, and instruction booklet. And this is what it looks like in its full glory. So it looks like, on here we have, let me put it up the right way. It's got a timer, an on and off switch. The timer gives you 1 hour, 2 hours, or 4 hours. You can change the temperature to 140 degrees, 175 degrees, or 215 degrees, and then you can obviously lock in the temperature. So again, I think what I'm gonna do, just for safety's sake, I'm going to put Miss Coy away just so that she doesn't get hurt. I'm gonna plug it in, turn it on, we'll put the cup of ice on this, and we'll just see how it goes throughout the video. I've got it on, and I think it's in a relatively safe location. I put it on 140 degrees for an hour. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my, I think the X is where you're supposed to put whatever it is you're supposed to be warming up. So I'm gonna have it here, and if I encounter any issues, like if I feel like it's doing something to the wood or anything like that, I will of course adjust for that, maybe even have to unplug it and put it somewhere else, and then we can kind of take a look as we go how that ice is melting. Now, let's go ahead and get into the rest of today's Temu video. Now, last video I talked to you about one of these types of frames that I had picked up to put in your canvas print photos from Temu. And what they ended up doing was putting the knot like right in here. So here's what I had to do, guys. I had to cut the knot off, and then I couldn't feed it through the proper way. So what I did, and I'm gonna see how zoomed in I can get you, is I put in a sploosh of hot glue in each side, and then just tucked those little pieces or the ends of the string into those holes. Now, the other thing that was kind of a pain in the butt was getting in these popsicle sticks to fill up the space basically so that your photo did not fall out. However, something that you could do also, same thing, hot glue, totally up to you if you want it to be a little bit more on the permanent side. So what I can say to this is, inexpensive, yes. It works, yes. If you get one that's not knotted wrong like I did, I'm sure it will be a lot easier for you. But for me, I kind of had to fiddle fart with it, but I did get it to work overall. And now it's a little wrinkly. I don't know if I like that. Another thing that you could do is you could, provided that you get a thinner cardboard, is that you could actually take a glue stick, and what I would say is not just any crafter's glue stick. I would say like an acid lignin-free glue stick that you would get for when you're scrapbooking, so that it's not going to tint your canvas. And then you could put it on that cardboard and then take that cardboard and slide it in, and then you wouldn't need the popsicle sticks, and it would get rid of these wrinkles. So there's this one. All right, let's see if she's getting a little warm yet. Oh yeah. It's also warm underneath. So I think perhaps something like this might have to go like on a stove. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. We'll leave it there for now. I'll just keep checking in on it, make sure I'm not gonna burn anything down. Because you guys who are not new here and you've been here with me, you guys know that my superpower is being a pendeja. I am very, very good at being a pendeja. So I have to be very careful sometimes. Moving on. I have a plethora of nails. Now, I have really fat fingernail beds. So they're gross, guys. I know, I'm sorry. They're fat this way, they're long this way. And so I wanted to do some of these maybe smaller nails. So I picked up a handful of these smaller nails, but they were super, super inexpensive. So I ended up getting like a couple of them so that I could just use the large ones just in case, like just utilize all the large ones and then leave the itsy bitsy ones for somebody who's got smaller fingers than I do. But here's the thing, you guys. Here's the thing. This is a size large. Do you see that? It's size large. Now they're beautiful. I love the cat eye effect, but even the largest nail, okay, if I was to have it on that end, this is how much space is left. So I don't know if they're just getting smaller and smaller. I don't know, but like this is the pinky. This is the pinky in a size large. Okay, look at that. It's not even remotely close. So I have to not buy the large size or the short fingernails because none of them work. Absolutely none of them work. So I would maybe say that if you typically wear a medium handmade nail and you pick up something like this, maybe consider getting it in the large. But I did get, so I got a second pair. Yep, I got a second pair of those. So here's another set that I picked up. That's supposed to be large. These are beautiful, absolutely stunning. And I got 2 sets of them because I just really liked the color, the iridescence of it. But again, same thing. It fits my regular sized thumbnail, but when it comes to my deformed thumbnail, which is this one, okay, hair issues, it doesn't even come remotely close again. And the other problem is that because these are more of like an almond shape, that because my nail beds are quite long as well, I would have to, now I can't really show you on that side. Here, let me figure out where it goes on this side. Okay. I would have to literally dig into my skin and chop off some of my nails so that it doesn't show through that almond shape. So I think from here on out, if I do these nails again, which they're now starting to get kind of expensive, is I can only get the super long ones and then cut them down to size. Cut them down to size as far as length goes, just so that I'm not having an issue with that. So I got 2 packs of those. These are really cute. Again, these don't fit me because of that almond shape. I'm super bummed about that. Let's see if you can see through the clear packaging here. Again, size large, super cute. And the flowers are painted on, so they're not like ultra 3D, but they do have little drops of clear, maybe like almost like a gel builder coat on it. So no real beads to speak of, so that it's, you know, not snag factor. However, these on the flip side do fit me. So here's where I'm saying I kind of have to branch back into getting the longer ones and then just trim them down to a length that I want. So here would be the second length that you can get them in. And see how they're just, let me show you the width. If I'm to compare apples to apples, large to large, okay, do you see the drastic size difference in width? Maybe you can't. In person I can, but these are kind of cute. They look like little fireworks maybe. Okay. And then I picked up a 4-piece pack. I'm gonna put my hair up because this is getting annoying. So I'm gonna do that. I'll be right back. Back to the 4 set. These are all a cat eye, and they're just in different shades. So this one is kind of like a blue-green shade. This one is green-green, so you can kind of see the difference there. This one is a flesh tone, pinky tone. And then my favorite, a purple. And then this is your second length option when it comes to your lengths and nails from Temu. So you see how it just kind of progressively gets a little bit longer. So then what I would do is I would take these, if I want my nails to be shorter, I would just take the length off. So that's what I'm gonna have to do basically from here on out, is just get the longer length ones and then just chop them down to size. This one is another one that I picked up. And again, these were all on a super duper sale. And I think the reason why is just because there isn't like any embellishments to them whatsoever. So these have some, they're not cat eye, but they're kind of sparkly. So you're not really gonna see the sparkles in there, but 2 different tones. We've got kind of more of a reddish tone and then more of a pinky tone with the French tip ombre blend. So those are really cute. And then of course, I picked up, you know, some of these. I know people really kind of like these, but again, I can't get any of them to fit my big fat fingers. I have to use basically all of the largest ones that they come with just for my middle finger. I have fat fingers. Okay, so nails, epic fail. But I'm going to just keep them and gift them, you know, stuff them into packages or whatever. Give them to friends and family members who have, you know, shorter nails and just want something in the interim before they go and get their actual nails done. So they're not gonna go to waste. I didn't even bother returning them. I mean, I could, but you know, I think not. I'm not gonna be that person. Okay, you guys, checking on my cup of ice. We have it melted this much. Wood is getting warm, but not to a point where I'm super scared about it just yet, so we'll just keep going. Let's do fashion, shall we? I picked up a couple of these things quite some time ago, so I don't know if they're going to be still available, but now that it's getting to be a season where I can wear this, I pulled these out. They're cute. They're cute, and I really liked the pattern on it. They're just a legging, and I knew that there was like a little bobble at the end, but I didn't realize it was gonna be this functioning jingle bell. So I will be cutting that off because that's annoying. Also, it will be a cat toy in a nanosecond. So I bought these in, let's see, I think a large. Yeah, I bought these in a large. The elastic isn't so bad. It's not really tight. It's your typical average kind of legging material, not super poopy. It's a little bit fuzzy on the inside and very slightly softer on the inside. Typical seams that you would see on your regular type of leggings right up at the top. But then of course, this is why I liked it, is because it's got the inside out seams that are quite popular right now. And of course the zigzag feature all the way down the legs with a slight kind of a V shape going down at the end. So that's what I bought these for, not the jingle jangles. Next piece. Here we have another sweatshirt dress. This one I picked up in a size large because this one has an elastic waistband, if I remember. Yes, this one has an elastic waistband. So for those of you who are new here, I have a really sensitive stomach and I don't like elastic around my waist to be very tight. So when I see elastic, I size up. And that's what I did with this, is I sized up to a large. The elastic is one of those that are a little bit tighter elastic. So just FYI. And some of my other sweatshirt dresses I have picked up in medium because then they don't look so frumpy. But I think that this elastic will give it a cinched in appearance so that it's not gonna look like, a sack of potatoes. And then of course it has a V-neck, and this would be a little bit less quality than your average sweatshirt material, but it is not shiny. It is not shiny. It's not like that shiny polyester-y, but it has your typical kind of a fleece lining on the inside. I would say on me, this is going to fit probably above my ankle. And then of course, pockets in the sides, which we love pockets, right? It should be mandatory. Everything has pockets. But I'm interested to try this one on. Again, I've kind of had this one in my stash. So I don't know if it'll still be available, but you guys, here's what I do. If something that I have featured on a video is not available, I will search for a comparable and put a link to the comparable item. Typically, that's going to be with clothing, not wigs, because wigs, you can't get a comparable in wigs. Different manufacturers, even though it's the same style, could be constructed completely different. So I can't do that. But when it comes to clothes, basically what I'm looking at is size availability, the style, and the price. So if it's available, links below. If it's not available, comparable available, that will be listed down below. If it's not available, if there aren't any comparables, I will just write a note, that item is unavailable, no comparables. Okay, moving on to item number 2. I think this one was one that was, Temu looks at your cart and says, we're going to give you 90% off of an item in your cart. And then of course, severely discounted for me. So I picked it up. This is in the color khaki in the size medium. This is just a very kind of a thin style sweater with some raised hearts on it, with some beads around some of them. Now, when I say thin, I mean it is relatively loosely woven. Okay, so this is gonna be cat snake central, but but it was very inexpensive for me. But it has your cinched in wrists. So for those of you who are a little bit shorter and you like the idea of this so that it gives you a little bit more of a poofy sleeve. Now on me, it's not going to be as poofy because I'm a little bit taller, but if you're shorter, this will be great for you because you can pull it up and then get that nice poofy sleeve effect. And then of course it's cinched in around the waist, giving you an extra little poofy effect over in here. And it has the heart only on the front, not on the back. So would it have been nice to have some hearts on the back too? Yes, but I mean, it's okay. It's okay. It's not the best sweater material I've ever felt, but certainly not the worst. And of course, I saved my favorite two pieces for last. So my first favorite piece are these. Now you guys know I like to find kind of the weird, bizarre, funky fashions, and this is one of them. This is the color olive in the size medium. So, what is it? Well, it's kind of a pair of overalls, but it's a very unique pair of overalls. So it only has, and this might be kind of really hard for me to show you on screen, but it goes on one shoulder, not only one shoulder. And then the other side kind of droops down and crisscrosses around the waist. And then it has just a straight leg. Now, I know that for most of the time, these kinds of things are going to be short on me, but here's the glory of overalls. Especially with this particular one, I can loosen this strap to a point where it's not going to be short on my legs. And for those of you who are a little bit shorter, you can tighten it so it's not as long on your legs. That's the beauty of overalls. So I don't mind if they come generally a little bit shorter because I can always adjust for that. And I'm really loving this army olive green color. I just love that you can pair it with brown, black. You can basically pair it with anything. And the material on this is not as sturdy and stiff as a canvas, but a comfortable type of material that's, you know, not stiff and harsh on your skin. So I'm excited to try these on, but let's get into the last fashion piece. Now, who doesn't need a little pleather in their life? I picked this up and I believe there are actually other color variations of this. This one is particularly the burgundy in the size medium. It's a hoodie. And I've never seen anything like this, but it is a pleather hoodie. And it has your standard kangaroo pocket in the front. Kind of smells like my armpits after a day of working out. Maybe not something you want to wear right away out of the bag. That's kind of a bummer because I wanted to wear it today. It smells, guys. That kind of smell will go away, mind you, okay? If you wanted to fix that smell, here's what I would do. I would fold this up with fabric dryer sheets. Fabric dryer sheets, just, you know, fold it up in a way it's not going to wrinkle. Obviously, don't wad it up in a ball, but put fabric softener sheets in here. It'll smell much better over time. I had to do that with a couple of my pleather things from Temu. And it is lined on the inside. Okay, so it's not going to be cold on your skin. Stitching is actually pretty decent. They did finish it off quite nicely. And it, even the seams between here and here look pretty nice and polished. Now I imagine that this is going to be, it's even stretchy, you guys. It's even stretchy. This might not hold up well to like scratches and stuff. I don't think pleather in general will. Maybe not a pet friendly type of top, but I had to try it. I had to try it, and I'm really kind of bummed that I can't wear it today. But the hood is lined. The black details on it kind of help to break up that mega maroon shade, which I like. So I'm interested. I'm sold on it, and I haven't even tried it on yet. Okay, but let's check on our ice. Okay. So I think I've been filming for maybe about 40 minutes in total. Obviously, I edit, and you're not 40 minutes into a video because I have to cut, paste, etc. But here's what we're at, like within like half hour to 40 minutes. And mind you, again, we started off at frozen. So just imagine what it would be like if you had a dish that came off of the stove or out of the oven and just trying to keep it warm. Now, here's what I would most certainly, I'm going to unplug this. Here's what I would most certainly consider is obviously kind of like a crock pot situation. It's only going to warm from the bottom, so you'll probably want to stir. I mean, you would think that that would be a no-brainer, but I'm just throwing it out there just in case so that things don't actually burn to the bottom of whatever you're setting it on or setting on it. Yes, that. Whatever you're setting on here, make sure that you stir it so it doesn't burn to the bottom of your pot, pan, casserole dish. Yes, I say casserole. For me, I say casserole, I say soda instead of Coke or pop or hot dish. I also say bag instead of bag. I also say bangs instead of fringe. What else do you guys say that's different? Depending on what side of the United States you're coming from, east, west, north, south, or what country you're coming from, UK, Canada, Africa. What are some things that you say? I'm just curious. Now that I'm talking about casserole, because that's a big one. People say, well, what is a casserole? If you say hot dish, most everybody knows what that is. Anyway, squirrel. All right, guys, I'm going to get into the try-on portion of today's video, and let's just see what this stuff looks like on. I'm interested to definitely check out this this thing and this thing. So I will be right back in just a second. These are a big fat no. Now, let's see what Koi thinks. Koi! Kiki! Koi! Kiki! Come here. She thinks the dogs are out, so she's not going to come and join us. So like I said, I'm going to be cutting off the jingle jangles, but otherwise in the large, I do think that they fit great. I would not size down personally because I honestly don't like my leggings to be super tight. And I do feel like with this material, with this size, that this actually works out really well for me. And obviously I also don't, oh, here she is. What do you think? I don't know if she's maybe scared of it. She doesn't quite know what to think. You see her looking? So yes, cutting off the bells. I think the length is good. I like that it's got that nice triangle down the side there. I like the extra detail in it, and I always wear something long to cover up my bootay when I am wearing leggings. So I'm just kind of showing you what I was currently wearing, except for I had a different pair of sweatpants on. I was business up top, sweatpants down at the bottom. But yes, they're okay. They're okay. Would I buy them again? Probably not. I will find a use for them. And the bells are most definitely getting scissored off. Surprisingly, you guys, this is kind of a small large. It was a little tricky for me to get up and over my head. The sleeve length is okay. It is a little bit shorter than I prefer because when I stretch out my arms, they get, you know, they pull up a little bit, but I hardly ever wear anything around my waist, or my wrist anyway. Usually I pull things up. I have an aversion to things being around my waist. Why do I keep wanting to say waist? Wrist. I mean, they both start with a W. Maybe that's why? I don't know. Anyway, so the elastic is not tight around my waist. I did say it was kind of a stiff elastic, but here's where that kind of comes in handy. Is if you were to have gotten it in a size that was size large, and instead of it kind of being a sack of potatoes, it does kind of cinch you in and give you a little bit of structure. But for me, I think it's a little too high. I would kind of need it to be more down here, but that's probably because I'm taller. For reference, you guys, if you are new, I am about 5'9". I'm 145 pounds. I have a 32-inch inseam. So if that kind of gives you an idea of how these items will fit you, and then you kind of know what size to get, this fits me like a medium. Just FYI, this fits more like a medium. I do kind of like the extra detail of the slits in the front, and it doesn't have it in the back. But I'm wondering if I could rotate this around and wear it both ways, depending on how you want to wear it. Let me try rotating around and see. No, actually you can't, because the pockets won't go the other way. So this is most definitely the front. The pockets won't go the other way. So it is set this way unless you don't want to use the pockets. I'm just going to, for spits and giggles, just rotate it around anyway, just to see what it looks like. Okay. Could I? Yes. Would I want to? Probably not. This is what it would look like in the back, as is, if I was to do that. And you have the slit in the back. It kind of feels weird around the butt though, because the pockets are this way. So that might look also kind of goofy. I don't know. Well, it would have been nice if it was like convertible. But anyway, that's what it looks like the other way around. My question has been answered. What do you guys think? Here is the heart sweater. This one's got a pretty decent length to it, but again, you shorter galleys are going to kind of appreciate this a little bit more than I can, because if you were to wear it and put it up to where your wrist is, it would kind of look more like this on you versus this on me. So I would love that, but here's how I wear mine anyways. As I have just stated, with my complication in saying the word wrist, I don't like things to be around my wrist. So this is how I would wear it. This is the length overall. So it's got a pretty decent length to it. It does kind of have a nice little pucker here so that it gives it a little bit extra poof and character. The V-neck on it is really pretty. I like that effect on it. The flowers are not the flowers, but the hearts. If I can talk today. Anyway, the hearts on it. The hearts on it are really pretty. So we've got like your basic ones here. And then of course the ones with the pearls on it. There's only 2 with pearls on it. Now, yeah, the hearts are very slightly different. So you've got one like this, or 2 like that, one like this, and then 2 with the pearls. So kind of cute. What do you guys think? You guys, I super love this. There's a couple of things that I take up issue with, however, and these And these things might be a break it kind of situation for you as well. Koi is playing with some pom-poms because the dogs are outside. There is this poopy pain in my derriere hidden zipper. And this thing, I got it up to this point, and then I couldn't get up any further, so I had to fiddle fart with it. Then I got it up to this point, and I couldn't get it up any higher, and I had to fiddle fart with it. So here's my recommendation for you when it comes to something like this. Now, if I could get in here without zipping and unzipping it, maybe I will try that. I don't think I can because it is kind of tight up here. And I think that's the whole premise of that, is don't wait until the last minute to use the restroom, guys, okay? For something like this, if you are one of those girls that is like pain is beauty, okay, just consider that for this type of zipper. Hidden zippers are the bane of my existence, and had I known this had a hidden zipper in it, I probably wouldn't even picked it up. I hate hidden zippers. If you know, you know. Other thing that's just a little bit annoying is that this doesn't really stay tight. There are things that you can do to this, yes, to make sure that it stays a little tight. I mean, obviously you can thread through and then you can bring it over and put it in a little knot, okay? So maybe something like that I would recommend. Another thing is that I almost feel like this may have been like a design flaw. The only thing is that if you were shorter than me, you could probably bring this strap and have that buckle show to the front. But because I'm a little bit longer, I had to extend the length of this so it would give me the length that I need. So those are the three things. If I were to pick this apart, if I was to pick this apart and go, is it worth it? Those are the three things that I would say. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Would you want to pick it up, or are you the same as me and the hidden zippers are like a make it break it situation? All right, you guys, this is the Stinky PLU hoodie. I actually enjoy this. I probably would have gone up maybe a size or two because I really enjoy a good oversized hoodie. I don't know about you guys. I like to be able to wear them sometimes with like a pair of leggings, which means I need it to go down over my butt. But overall, in a size medium, this one fits pretty decently. In the arms, I could stand to go for a little bit longer in the arms, but that's because I'm taller. But I wear them, you know, I wear my sleeves up here anyways. I've discussed that I don't know how many times today alone, but you get the gist. Even the kangaroo pocket in the front is lined, so it's not uncomfortable on the back of your hands to put your hands in there, but it's not lined on this side. So outside of the smell, obviously we've got super duper stretch in there, but because of the size medium on me, I do feel like there's like a little bit of uncomfortability in the stitching here. So something went a little awry in the design process in this one, and it does just kind of feel a little funky. Again, resolving that issue is very simple by sizing up. So if you are my measurements and you kind of are seeing what I'm seeing, and this might be bothersome for you, I would say size up to a large. The other thing is when you're wearing it, it's not very loud. Okay, so if some of you have done the PLU leather before in like pants or skirts and you know how loud it is, this one actually is not that bad, surprisingly. So noise-wise, it's not annoying. So again, lined on the inside, super cozy on the skin. It doesn't feel weird or cold or anything like that. I like the fact that it's got the nice black trim here, as well as in the hoodie to kind of break up the color of the maroon monotony, to give it a little bit of color blocking. I do enjoy that. So I actually do really enjoy this top. Again, if I got it in a size large or even an extra large, I wonder what the size difference would be, length of arms, length of here. Sometimes it makes a difference, sometimes it doesn't. but I know that it would fit more comfortably here. But this even isn't that bad because, again, like I said, it is super stretchy. So it kind of all just depends on your sensitivity. So somebody who is got touch sensory issues, that might be an issue for you. But other than that, I enjoy it. What do you guys think of this top? Is this something that you would be interested in picking up, or is this going to be like a hard pass for you? And that is all I have for you guys today. I wanted to kind of make this one short and sweet, but I think it kind of ended up being a little bit longer. I also do want to apologize for those of you who were bothered by the flashing lights that I had in my last video. I didn't realize that it was flashing so horribly until I was editing. Because it just wasn't pulling up on my monitor the same way it did in editing. So I didn't realize how awful it was. But I have it just straight on today, and I will make sure to do that for all my videos. Pause for the cause. I think they're done barking. They may prove me wrong. Though the glory of pets. Any whoozy whatsy, thank you so much for stopping on by and checking out another video with me today. No rest for the wicked. Let's try this again in just a second. Take number 3. Oh, for the love of pizza. Toto, come here. Epic fail. Let's see if I can say it really fast. Thank you guys for coming and sticking out with me on another video today. If you are new here, I would love it if you considered subscribing. Also, please like and share this video. Helps me out a lot, and I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. And until next time, guys, I will see you later. Bye, guys.